good.
Okay, now we are putting together the marinade for the turkey. The marinade comes from Chef Roy Choy from the movie Chef.
Yeah.
In this movie, this marinade was used for a Cuban sandwich, which is typically pork, but we're going to use the same marinade and we're going to use it on our turkey. Okay?
With a slight variance, but as Chef said, you always want to credit your sources. So I'm not gonna sit up here and like, oh, we made this marinade and not give Chef Roy Choy his credit. Now it's not the exact same thing, but majority of the ingredients are pretty much the same, and the variance is so these herbs came from our garden. So these were all the herbs that we grew from the Tower Garden, which was basil, sage, parsley, cilantro, mint, lemon balm, thyme, oregano, and this is also olive oil and a wee bit of garlic in there. So I'm going to add this to the marinade because I did not purchase fresh sage from the store. So this is going to give us our fresh sage aspect because it's the holidays. Oregano.
So what I'm doing now is I am pulling the oregano off the stem. Sometimes I have known chefs to add the stems to the blender with all the parts of the marinade. I personally don't like doing that. That's just a personal preference for me. So I just simply slide my hand down the stem of the oregano and I pull it off and it comes completely off pretty much like that. Excuse if you hear our dogs in the background. They're outside and if someone walks past the pits, they do what dogs do, okay? So now that we have our oregano off the vine, I am going to add it to the blender, and I'm also going to take my mint off of the stem as well. Because like I said, I don't like I don't like stems going into my marinades. So you just take it off like this. And I'm not saving the stems for anything. I'm just discarding the stems. Okay. And we also have cilantro here as well. And we pretty much just untie this and tear it from the top. Okay. And again, I will take these off of the stem, just so everything is the same across the board. With cilantro, you can kind of get away with the stems. With everything else, not so much.
Where's the liquid measure in here?
Yeah.
Is it okay if I read off the recipe measurements?
Okay. Chef is going to read off the recipe measurements so that we know the exact amounts as we put them into the blender.
And I will post the ingredients to the description as always. So we're only going to use the marinade. If you do search this recipe online, it'll be a two-part recipe, one calling for a brine and the other a marinade. But here we are just going to use the marinade, and this will marinate overnight. We're going to use 2/3 cup of olive oil, 2/3 cup of cilantro, 4 tablespoons of mint, half a cup of orange juice, half a cup of fresh squeezed lime juice. I did not get fresh squeezed lime juice. I got the already squeezed stuff. Garlic, which we are going to use our house roasted garlic here. We're going to use 1 1/2 tablespoons of grated orange peel. So I only need 1 orange. 2 teaspoons of fresh oregano chopped. 1 teaspoon ground cumin. 2/3 teaspoon of black pepper. 2/3 teaspoon of fine sea salt. Right here. Which one you want?
Just give me a chef knife.
It's going in the blender.
You don't want me to rough chop it before you?
No, you don't have to. It's going in the blender.
Okay. So we're gonna skip the rough chop step because we are putting it in the blender. So of course the blender will do the chopping for us. So I will add the herbs here in our, Chef, can you turn the camera so they can see the, add the herbs in the blender, like this. Okay, and then we need the zest of 1 orange.
Yeah.
So,
And you can either zest it over the turkey or you can zest it in there.
so I'm just gonna, you just wanna lightly go across your orange. You don't wanna mash down too hard because you begin to get the white part of the fruit, and that part is not what you want because it is bitter. So pretty much go around the whole orange to get the amount of zest that you need, because it has the purest orange flavor. So, and we're doubling the recipe.
Yes.
So that's why we're using the entire orange. And when your microplane or your zester gets full, you just kind of run your finger through the bottom of it to get the orange zest into the mixer with everything else. And I'll just continue to zest our orange here. Try not to take up too much time.
I can finish zesting over the turkey if you want, Chef.
Finish zesting this over the turkey?
Yeah, I'll finish that.
Okay. So we've made executive decisions to not belabor the video, and we will finish zesting the rest of the orange over the turkey itself. So next we are going to add what, Chef?
You're done with that cilantro.
Okay, so we're going to add this cilantro
Yeah.
to the...
Everything, because we're going to...
Put this in.
Actually, we'll do 1 and then pour so we don't kill the blender.
Okay, so we're going to do it in 2 portions or 2 halves so that the blender is not overpacked and overworked. So the next thing we are going to do is
2/3 cup olive oil, Chef.
and this is the Pompeian extra virgin olive oil, and this is just our preferred favorite of brand of olive oil. So you always want to sit your measuring cup on a flat surface so that it's evenly measured, and get it to about right at 2/3. Okay.
Just 2/3 cup.
Oh, 2/3 cup. What did I
Okay.
do? Oh, I need more.
What you doing, Chef? We mismeasure stuff we make
Right,
mistakes
I
all the time.
mismeasured, but the good thing is you can always fix it, especially if you haven't added it to the recipe yet.
There you go, Chef. Sorry about that.
So here's our true 2/3 cup. And
Hold on. Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
add this to our recipe.
Yes, I'm gonna slide this over again so they can see you measuring the orange juice. So
Okay.
you need half a cup orange juice.
Let's take the plastic off of the orange juice.